What is good? We back with the green screen. We're going green screen again. The other setup was cool, but we finna go back to what we did before with the green screen. But look, forget all that, man. Big news dropped earlier today. Kevin Durant officially requested a trade. Yes. Kevin Durant requested a trade, so you know KD's done, and if KD done, you know Brooklyn ain't gonna deal with Kyrie. So Kyrie out of there too, so the Brooklyn Nets officially done. We finna react to it. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, share, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Join the team. Man, oh man. Now you know me, KD has been my favorite player for like 10 plus years. 10 plus years, KD's been my favorite player. So this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is exciting. Because to me, even though Kyrie was a big distraction and a big reason why the Nets was a mess this year. But KD finna get out of there, man. So let's get to it.
There's no involvement at all. I mean, I can't be involved with, this is this man's livelihood. You know, this is much bigger than me, you know.
Just when I thought things had settled down in Brooklyn Nets GM Sean Marks is working with Kevin Durant on finding a trade for the franchise.
Let's go! Let's go, man.
Being a free agent is one of the most important times in your career, you know. So
like this is going to be a reset in Brooklyn now. I don't know what they're going to do with Ben Simmons.
I've been at the doctor.
I'll get on this the moment I get home.
This is shaping out to be one of the greatest off seasons in
Ever.
NBA history.
Yeah.
Free agency hasn't even started yet.
And right now, two best friends, one of the most exciting duos, such wasted potential, might I add, are now on the cusp of breaking up.
Let's
It's not because of
go.
Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving reaffirmed his commitment to the Brooklyn Nets. It's because of Kevin Durant.
Real quick though. Where, if you were KD, what team would, put in the comments below, if you're KD, what team would you play for? Like, he gave out his two teams, which you probably can touch on it, Suns and Miami. If I was KD, I'd choose Miami. But look, I heard something crazy, and I will get to it later on in the video if he doesn't touch it already. I heard something crazy that it said it might be a possibility we finna.
Now, before we get to the content, make sure you drop, like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. I'm going on the road tomorrow, but I'm going to be bringing my camera and my laptop, and I will be recording videos on the freaking road as free agency goes down. Yes, I'm that much of a psychopath. If you think I talk way too much in this content,
nah, that man dedicated.
Shorter versions of
that man on the road. That man making videos on the road.
And onto my new TikTok page, which is at the Flight Mic for both.
I got a Kobe jersey.
Cue the intro.
Oh, he got a Kobe jersey in the back. And just skip the intro a little bit. I said a little bit. I'm not gonna be. I love it.
In my past life, like I said, I was you.
Nah, Kyrie took something wrong with Kyrie.
That's what I'm up here.
Do you want to be a Brooklyn Nets still?
Pass it to my left.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody?
Let's
Remember a couple
get it.
days ago, I made a video that said that Kyrie Irving absolutely exposed NBA media. I spent hours that day following every single bit of Kyrie Irving information and news, where Kyrie made it seem like he was about to sign a mid-level exception with the Los Angeles Lakers, which I said isn't really likely because who the hell would take a $30 million pay cut to play for a different team? And that's even before taxes are brought up, before he ultimately decided to reaffirm his commitment to the
I'd see.
Brooklyn
Okay,
Nets, with the
he'll
exclusive
probably talk about
language
it.
being that Kyrie Irving is going to opt into his contract and he is going to fulfill his commitment to Kevin Durant and play out the entirety of his contract that he signed in 2019.
I think they set this
Ultimately,
up.
It was a fun ride, man. I had a lot of fun covering the Kyrie Irving drama that entire week. I
That
think
man
we
thought
all
it
had
was
a lot
over.
of fun watching the Kyrie Irving drama
He thought it was
the entire
over.
week. And ultimately, after listening to what Kevin Durant was saying on his podcast in regards to Kyrie Irving, we all thought that they were going to come back together, see what they have in the form of Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. Maybe you're able to bring Joe Harris back. Maybe you're able to bring Patty Mills back, and maybe get some. They
brought Patty Mills back.
That's not what happened. In one of the
but it don't even matter.
Curveballs that we've seen to date, it seems like the Brooklyn Nets are about to blow it up, and we're gonna give you all the information. But on top of that,
I'm so excited. I shouldn't even be this excited.
Probably the best case scenario for your team. And before you call me a psychopath, let me bring you the news. So first things first, we were all shocked when we found this out. According to Shams Charania,
Kevin Durant has requested a trade out of Brooklyn.
Retweets, man. Kevin Durant has requested a trade out of Brooklyn. Sources tell at The Athletic and at the stadium. So
I apologize. And if you're watching this, I apologize. I'm looking down at my phone just in case I missed something, because I got ESPN notifications coming on. So, hey, say he ain't getting traded today. That's highly unlikely. People got to put deals together. But say something would have happened like that, Kyrie got traded. You're going to get breaking news. You're going to get my live reaction.
I know what we were all thinking when we originally saw this. What the hell is going on? I thought KD wanted Kyrie to come back so they could work it out. I thought they were going to try to run it this year with Kyrie Irving being fully committed to the Brooklyn Nets.
That boy KD requested a trade.
Healthy, and Ben Simmons might be the two-way player that they have been missing this entire time. So what happened? Was it the fact that Patty Mills opted out of his contract yesterday and said he's going to test free agency? Is it the fact that Ben Simmons posted this onto his Instagram story and Kevin Durant looked at him and he's like,
nah, I can't do this. Nah, I can't do this.
Could add on to his legacy in a significantly easier way by going to a team that actually really needs his services in order to get over the hump and potentially win a championship. An opportunity to start one of the most exciting rivalries that we have seen in the NBA.
If you want to be,
hit me with an ad. I didn't even see like the
podcast, whatever it is.
You know how you get ad and they be on here like 5, 4, 3, 2. I didn't even see that. It didn't even pop up.
Well, as time went on, we found out that KD went straight to ownership with this information.
That's
he made
crazy.
The trade request directly to the Nets owner.
He a real one.
Today, sources tell
he went straight
ESPN.
to the owner of the team.
KD went straight up to the owner of the Brooklyn Nets. He wasn't coy about it and said that he is demanding a trade. Now, you might be wondering, how does Kyrie feel about that? We're going to get to that in just a sec, because Sean Marks seems to be all on board with working with Kevin Durant and his business manager.
See, this is one thing I will say. KD has put up with so much these past 2 years. They'll respect KD on where he wants to go. I agree with that. Now, Kyrie, on the other hand, I don't know what Kyrie said he's focused on getting to LA. He's getting to the Lakers. I don't know how they're gonna get that done. And if I was what's called Sean Mark, I'd send him to the Kings, or I'd send him somewhere where they have no hope of winning. I'm talking no hope of winning. I sent him to the Magic. That's where I sent him. Yeah, 60 there. I sent you there. I sent him to the Magic so fast.
Now, here's the thing, man. I'm going to say this, and you're going to think I'm a psychopath. I think this is a great opportunity for the Brooklyn Nets. I honestly said originally that if Kyrie Irving leaves and you're able to get something for Kyrie Irving in return, hell, even if it's not the greatest return, but you get something for Kyrie Irving, so long as you get a player that you could look at and say, hey, I know you're going to be playing games this year without the volatility
I know
of Kyrie Irving's personality.
That's awful.
No offense to Kyrie Irving, he's a remarkable talent, but you have to admit, throughout his 3 years with the Brooklyn Nets, he's missed time, and every single year has been for a completely different reason. The first year with the injuries, I understand. The second year, he was just taking time off just to take time off. This past year with the vaccine mandate drama. Now, of course, you can make the argument that it's not necessarily his fault, but when you take time off just to take time off, combine that with the
hold up, I gotta take a picture of this. Oh, I never seen that report, and it's by Woes. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. I didn't see this report at all. KD and Kyrie want to continue to play together, but not in Brooklyn. Oh, what did Kyrie say? Kyrie said he's trying to get to LA. I seen something that said the Lakers might be able to get Kyrie and KD. If they did that, I can't even talk. This is crazy. KD, Kyrie, and LeBron. Come on, man. Ain't nobody beating them.
The vaccine mandate.
It's going to be them and Golden State battling. Come on. Please make that happen. I don't like seeing KD play with Kyrie. Kyrie is a bucket, though. Kyrie can hoop. It's just like his personality. But I will say this. If anyone can put up with that Kyrie personality, it is LeBron James. And if you pair LeBron with Kyrie and KD, LeBron the leader. Get that out of the way. LeBron the leader. They could just hoop, and it will work.
Willing to pay you maximum money. On top of that, I don't think this has anything to do with Kevin Durant's friendship with Kyrie Irving, but Kevin Durant's 34 years old. That time is ticking. I don't know if Kevin Durant's going to be able to pull LeBron James or a Tom Brady and play into his 40s.
Nah, he got big injuries. That's what I'm saying.
Then say that as the Nets prepare to move one of the most valuable trade assets ever on the market, the entire roster will be available to discuss in deals, sources tell ESPN. Teams have been calling on Durant, and the Nets will certainly look for a historic return on players and draft picks. Bro, anytime, and I don't want this to be seen as disrespectful to Kevin Durant, because you guys already know how I feel about Kevin Durant. I think he's one of the most transcendent scorers of all time in NBA history. And I also think he's ridiculously underappreciated. I mean, especially what he's been able to do post Achilles tear. It's even more impressive.
Yes, yeah, that's crazy.
Achilles on his other leg.
That tore his Achilles and went stupid.
Have aided in his ability.
KD's so nasty, man. KD cold.
Anytime that you could trade a player going into their age 34 season.
I will say this though, that Boston one really hurt. That Boston one hurt me though. He was getting bullied. It hurt to watch, man. It looked like he was getting bullied. Now, he had to play. He was playing a whole bunch. He basically had to claw them back into the play-in situations and stuff. So he was playing crazy minutes. So it could have been fatigue, but it was just a bad look.
Return. You're supposed to.
But you still know KD, that dude.
Where you could put a contender around Kevin
Durant. He had 39 the last game of the series, so you know he's still that dude.
How confident are you in the ability of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons? One, all playing at the same time. Two, when they do play together,
team them up with LeBron. LeBron and KD. That's all you need.
That's the big question. And remember, a lot of that has to do with Kevin Durant not getting injured.
KD want to play with Book too, though.
Playing games. Ben Simmons actually
Devin
playing
Book
games.
And Chris Paul.
I actually think this is a great opportunity for the Brooklyn Nets to potentially start an OKC Thunder-like rebuild, especially when you consider the fact that they have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. This is why I applauded them for trading for Ben Simmons to begin with, because I know we all meme Ben Simmons, and I know that Ben Simmons' value as a basketball
Ben Simmons could be Giannis,
but the dude is only in his mid-20s. I said at the very worst, if there is a situation
he literally can
where
be
Kevin
Giannis
Durant and Kyrie Irving leave, and I said this during the trade deadline, when they traded James Harden for Ben Simmons, at least you have a contingent. You have a player that you can build around. So it's not necessarily the worst case scenario for the Brooklyn Nets. I honestly think this would be better than if they were to keep Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but we're not done yet. There's even more information on this situation, including where Kevin Durant wants to go to. Kevin Durant, and this is first reported by Chris B. Haynes, who, by the way, you guys know, I think Chris B. Haynes is an absolute stud.
He's close with like all the players.
He is currently a free agent, so if you're a network watching my content, which I don't really think you are, but if you are, make sure you go after this guy because he does not miss when it comes to the insider game, bro. Kevin Durant has the Phoenix Suns listed as a preferred trade destination, league sources tell Yahoo Sports. I said this earlier when there was speculation in regards to this. Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns sounds like such a good time. I mean, look, KD is age 34. He's not going to be tasked with doing way too much, but he will be there when you need him. But on top of that, I'm assuming Chris Paul's still going to be there. I'm assuming Devin Booker's still going to be there. I'm assuming the return that the Brooklyn Nets would get back in this instance would be DeAndre Ayton and some future picks, which would be fantastic for the Brooklyn Nets because that's still a good piece.
So this is what I think. I think KD's bet. Now, if he can get to LA with LeBron and Kyrie, that's the best. Just because that would be fun to watch. That would be a fun thing to watch. But realistically, I think Miami might be the best fit if they were able to keep Bam and Jimmy. But I think they would be able to. He's that scorer that they need, I feel like. I like him in Miami, but him with the Suns makes the most sense for both teams so far, at least early on. Because what's it called trying to get Bam, and they said Devin Booker. But I think you can package like DeAndre Ayton. You can package a bunch of picks, DeAndre Ayton, who is it? Like Cam Johnson, like a whole bunch of these guard campaign. You can package all the role players. Have CP3, Devin Booker, and KD. They would be nasty.
Get in return, especially if you're a rebuilding
They would be
team.
nasty.
But I'm just thinking about this in the context of storylines, man. Like, you think about what Chris Paul went through. He was this close to potentially being in a situation
That would be actually the perfect. You know what? What he's saying, this actually makes it perfect. Chris Paul trying to get a chip, a court book trying to get a chip, and KD's trying to prove that he doesn't need those other ones. If they want a chip, if Phoenix want a chip, everyone benefits.
Kevin
for
Durant
sure.
and the Golden State
legacy-wise,
Warriors
everyone
during
benefits.
his first year with the Houston Rockets, but unfortunately he got injured and he was not able to do so. Kevin Durant already has a little bit of a rivalry with Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors. It's not necessarily a heated rivalry, but it's kind of a friendly rivalry. Draymond Green said to Kevin Durant point blank, and this was an argument that resulted in the end of Kevin Durant's tenure with the Golden State Warriors, that the Golden State Warriors won without him. And this past year, once again, they won without him. Seeing Kevin Durant go there and teaming up with Chris Paul and Devin Booker,
you get to see Golden State a whole
good
bunch.
Time in the context of storylines.
That would be fun to
rivalries
watch
in the Western Conference to challenge the Golden State Warriors for Western Conference supremacy. I am all for this. There's obviously other teams on this list, and again, I wanted to mention that Adrian Wojnarowski actually verified Crispy Haynes as a source, saying that Phoenix and Miami are amongst two of the teams that Kevin Durant has on his wish list, sources tell ESPN. But the Nets plan to move Durant where they can get the best possible deal. With 4 years on his contract, there's no shortage of teams willing to unload assets for Kevin Durant. I hear that the Los Angeles Lakers are interested in trading for Kevin Durant, but the fact that they're not willing to include Talon Horton-Tucker in the trade is the reason why trade talks are falling through. Jokes aside, we all know it's either the Miami Heat or the Phoenix Suns at this point. I think the Phoenix Suns are probably going to get him primarily because they're trying to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. There's a player worth giving up DeAndre Ayton for.
Kevin Durant.
Be Kevin Durant. The Phoenix Suns feel like they could get adequate production out of the backups to DeAndre Ayton, out of Bismack Biyombo, for instance. And that's the reason why they didn't want to pay him maximum contract money, which more power to the Phoenix Suns. It was a very bold move, but it seems like it might be a move that is going to pay off for them. But you might be wondering, how does this affect Kyrie Irving? He just opted in. Well, here's where it gets interesting.
I think they planned it.
We made a report earlier.
Okay, so this is what I think. He'll probably break it down. This is what I think. I think KD and Kyrie talked about it. Kyrie said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to opt in. But KD, once you request a trade, they're going to let Kyrie go. So he opted in. So he's getting his money as $47 million or $37 million. However much. I think it's 37. I think he's getting his $37 million, and then they're gonna try to trade him. And if he gets traded to a bad team, the bad team likely gonna buy him out, and then he's a free agent, and then he could go to the Lakers. So he'll be able to go to the Lakers, his preferred team, without having to give up $30 million. He'll still be able to make the $30 million and still be on the team that he wants.
Here, where we said,
I think that's what they
we
talked.
don't know how close Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving
I think they orchestrated this whole thing.
Friends, and they do cute little handshakes, but we're not necessarily sure how close they are. Well, maybe they did have contact with one another, but it seems like they haven't had contact with the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving had no contact with the franchise after Irving opted into his deal on Monday, and a sense of inevitability existed that Durant would eventually ask for a trade, sources tell ESPN, and it happened today. So it's also important to note that the Phoenix Suns are officially shifting their focus to Kevin Durant. They don't want to gut the whole team to get him, but that discussion is now the main priority. So
how can we get Kevin Durant
at this point? Mike,
imagine if you're like, what are we gonna do with DeAndre Ayton? We gotta find a replacement. And then breaking news: Kevin Durant requested a trade. His top teams are Suns and Miami. And you're sitting there like, Kevin Durant wants to come here. We better do whatever we can to get him, as long as we don't got to give up Booker.
What's going to happen with Kyrie Irving? It seems like the Lakers are currently trying to acquire Kyrie Irving on a deal centered around Russell Westbrook. And this is according to Brian Windhorst. And that's not even the most wild thing. Oh, but where are you going? Listen to what Brian Windhorst says. And I'm kind of...
So this, I think this is what I was talking about. Kyrie and KD both to the Lakers.
Kind of resenting him for saying this, because why are you just getting my hopes up as a depressed Laker fan for no reason? Just listen to this.
But it has been floated to me by executives that, I'm sorry much loath to say it.
I can't. Don't
that
do
if
it.
they were be kept together, that the Lakers would potentially have a package that you could trade for both of them.
Let's go,
Richard. But we don't know. It's too fragile. It's too fragile because we just don't know where KD and Kyrie are if they're still interested in together. But it would take, after seeing what happened when they were together, almost no team with options would do it. But the Lakers don't have options.
See, you're talking about like after all you've seen. But if you have LeBron James, LeBron can manage all of that. I'm telling you.
So that's the only place I heard it was possible. But
Russ,
we don't have enough. We don't really have enough information to know.
Brian Windhorst
Russ and AD
can't
would
even
be
say
going
what he
for
just
it.
said with a straight face. Oh, but what do you think? Look, man, I take pride in being a realistic Laker fan. I don't think there's any chance that happens unless the Brooklyn Nets happen to value AD and Russell Westbrook. And I guess in that instance, and this is just me trying to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense to me that much, in that instance, you could make an argument that Anthony Davis hits the same timeline as Ben Simmons, and
both of them go off together.
Maybe you could build up their value and maybe trade Anthony Davis, because bear in mind, Anthony Davis is still a superstar. He just had a pretty rough season the last year. But my most likely target for Kevin Durant being traded would probably be the Phoenix Suns or the Miami Heat. And I think in the case of Kyrie Irving,
I think
there's a decent...
See, I think the Suns is the favorite, because I think it looks like the Heat are trying to get Donovan Mitchell, because that's what it looks like right now. The Heat are trying to get Donovan, because it said they've submitted a trade to get Donovan Mitchell, and I think that was after KD said he wants to go to the Heat. So we finna see
the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'm gonna keep you guys posted. We're gonna be doing the live
him with
stream
Jimmy Butler
on
would
YouTube
be
for free agency.
disgusting.
It's not gonna pop up in your notifications because this is our third video.
But him a Book would be
Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below.
Him
Aside
and
from
Book
that,
would
I'm
go
your boy
crazy
Mike.
too.
I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
But that's it for the video, man. Be sure to. This is nuts. He might go to. If both of them go to the Lakers, it's finna get crazy. That's it for the video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe if you're new, man. Comment below where you think each of them are going. Is this the craziest offseason you've ever seen? But I'll catch you on the next video. Till then, I'm out. Peace.